There comes a moment when you have to stop explaining your life and start changing it. A moment when you have to look yourself in the mirror and ask, how much longer am I going to wait? How much longer will you say, I'll start tomorrow? Tomorrow, when you have more time. Tomorrow, when you feel more confident. Tomorrow, when life gets easier. Tomorrow, when the timing is perfect. But listen carefully. If you keep waiting for the perfect time, you may spend your entire life waiting. Because the perfect time does not come. There will always be problems. There will always be distractions. There will always be a reason to wait. And if you are looking for an excuse, you will always find one. The question is not whether life is difficult. The question is, what are you going to do about it? You know what needs to be done. You know the work you have been avoiding. You know the habit you need to break. You know the skill you need to learn. You know the first step. But knowing is not enough. Wanting is not enough. Planning is not enough. Talking is not enough. At some point, you have to move. You have to stop making excuses and take action. Excuses are dangerous because they usually sound reasonable. I'm tired. I don't have enough time. I'm not ready yet. I'll start next week. And next week becomes next month. Next month becomes next year. Then one day, you wake up and realize you have spent years preparing to begin, years thinking about what your life could become, years talking about your dreams, years waiting for the right opportunity, but nothing changed. Why? Because dreams do not change your life. Action changes your life. Your excuses may be understandable. People may listen to them. People may even agree with them. But your excuses will never build your future. Results do not respond to excuses. Results respond to action. You can spend the next 10 years explaining why something is difficult. Or you can spend the next 10 years becoming strong enough to handle it. You can complain about the mountain, or you can start climbing. The choice is yours. One of the greatest mistakes people make is waiting to feel ready. They believe confidence must come before action, but that is not how life works. Most confidence comes after action. You become confident by doing the thing you were once afraid to do. You become stronger by facing what was once difficult. You become disciplined by doing what needs to be done when you don't feel like doing it. Most people are waiting for a feeling. Successful people learn to act without one. They don't always feel motivated. They don't always feel confident. They don't always know exactly how things will work out. But they begin. And as they move, they learn. As they learn, they improve. As they improve, they gain confidence. You don't need to see the entire path. You only need enough courage to take the next step. You don't need to know everything. Learn as you go. You don't need to have everything. Start with what you have. You don't need to be perfect. You need to begin. Because perfection is often just another excuse. You are afraid of making mistakes. But mistakes made through action will teach you more than excuses made through fear. Action creates experience. Experience creates wisdom. And wisdom helps you make better decisions. So stop waiting for certainty. The future becomes clearer when you start moving toward it. There is something else you need to understand. Your life is not shaped by what you intend to do. It is shaped by what you actually do. You may intend to get healthy. You may intend to become successful. You may intend to learn a new skill. You may intend to change your life. But intention without action is simply a promise you keep making to yourself. And every time you make that promise and fail to act, you lose a little trust in yourself. You say, I'll start Monday. Monday comes. Nothing happens. You say, tomorrow I'll wake up early. Tomorrow comes. Nothing happens. And slowly, you begin to believe that your own promises mean nothing. That is dangerous, because success begins with self-trust. You must become someone who believes their own word. If you tell yourself you're going to do something, do it. Start small if you have to, but do it. Keep the promises you make to yourself. Every time you take action, you send yourself a message. I can trust myself. And that is where real confidence begins. Not by talking about what you will do, but by doing what you said you would do. Action is also the cure for doubt. The longer you avoid something, the bigger it becomes in your mind. The phone call becomes terrifying. The project becomes overwhelming. The first step feels impossible. But then you finally do it, and you realize something. It wasn't as impossible as you imagined. That is why action is so powerful. Action interrupts fear. Action creates momentum. You don't have to sit around wondering whether you are capable. Do something. Then you will know more than you knew yesterday. Take one action, then another, and soon you have evidence. Evidence that you can wake up when you said you would. Evidence that you can work when you don't feel like it. Evidence that you can finish what you start. Evidence that you can handle difficulty. And that evidence changes the way you see yourself. You stop becoming someone who always plans. You become someone who executes, not someone who says one day, but someone who acts today. Do not underestimate small actions. One workout may not transform your body, but repeated workouts will. One page may not make you an expert, but pages read every day will change your mind. 1 hour may not build a great skill, but hours invested consistently will. Your life is shaped by what you repeatedly do. So stop asking whether today's action will change everything. Ask whether it is moving you in the right direction. Because direction matters. One step today, another tomorrow, and another the next day. Eventually you will look back and barely recognize the person you used to be. But it started with one decision. You stopped making excuses, and you started, there is a price for action. You may have to wake up earlier. You may have to work when others are relaxing. You may have to say no to distractions. You may have to face rejection. You may have to fail. You may have to become uncomfortable. Yes, there is a price. But there is also a price for doing nothing. The price of the dream you never pursued, the skill you never learned, the opportunity you were too afraid to take, the person you could have become. So ask yourself, which pain would you rather live with? The temporary pain of discipline or the long-term pain of regret? Action may be difficult today, but inaction can become a burden you carry for years. So pay the smaller price now. Do the difficult thing now. Start the work now. Learn the skill now. Take the first step now. There is something you have been putting off. You know what it is? The idea, the goal, the work, the change. Maybe you have been carrying it in your mind for days, maybe months, maybe years. And every time you think about it, you say, soon. But how many times has soon become never? How many dreams disappear because people wait just a little longer? Enough. At some point, you have to draw a line. You have to say, no more. No more telling myself I'll start tomorrow. No more explaining why I can't. No more waiting for perfect conditions. No more allowing fear to make my decisions. No more excuses. This does not mean life will suddenly become easy. It won't. You will still struggle. You will still have difficult days. You will still face fear. But you can act despite all of it. And that is where your power begins. Your future is not asking you to be perfect. It is asking you to begin. So stand up, take responsibility, face the fear, accept the discomfort, do what needs to be done, because the real test begins when the motivation ends, when nobody is watching, when you are alone with your decisions. What will you do then? Will you make another excuse? Or will you take action? Remember this, you don't need a perfect plan. You need a decision. You don't need more excuses. You need more execution. You don't need to change your entire life today. You need to change what you do next. Stop making excuses. Take action. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you finally feel ready. Now, because the life you want will not be built by the things you plan to do. It will be built by the things you finally decide to do. And one day, you will look back and realize the moment you stopped making excuses was the moment your life began to change.